Said it was a bit weird today. My room's a mess, okay? I just moved back from uni. Oh. And that feels like a funny angle. I'm struggling. I just moved back from uni. So I've had the challenge of combining all of my stuff from 2 separate rooms into one. So like suddenly I have 2 rooms worth of stuff and I'm like, since when did I own all of this stuff? Yeah, so I'm struggling a little bit with the tidying. It's just all on shelves. I need to go through and properly like sort it out, but I haven't yet. But yeah, hello, welcome back. Today normally I do art videos, but today I wanted to branch out and I'm gonna do a little video that's talking about just kind of a tarot deck tour, I think, and the books I would recommend to beginner practitioners of witchcraft, because I'm a witch. My 2 like main things are witchcraft and art. I also have to read, so yeah, I thought I'd bring that into this channel. I kind of want to do an amalgamation of art and witchcraft. That's the hope, anyway. Sorry, I keep looking. I'm autistic, so like eye contact is wild. But yeah, so that's going to be today. Books and tarot, just a kind of introduction to my practice kind of thing. Yeah. I've been practicing for about 3 years now. I have a small collection of books, a couple that are more like intermediate when I started looking into like baneful magic and things like that. I have like the books I read as a foundation. TikTok's a good resource, but not for everything. Like fact check. I use TikTok. I post witchcraft videos. I use TikTok quite a lot when looking up like herb correspondences if I don't have my books with me, and just basic information. I use TikTok for information on deities. TikTok's quite good for that as well. But also there are many good websites. I can't remember what it's called. If I remember, I will put it in. It's just like loads and loads of different deities just all together on one website and all their attributes and stuff. It's very cool. I really can't remember any of these names. I will write it on the screen. It's where you type in like the intention for the spell and it like gives you a list of all sorts of herbs and crystals and stuff that you can use for that spell. Common misconceptions, just to tick off. No, you cannot use rosemary as a substitute for any herb. It doesn't work like that. I don't know who came up with that idea, but it's bollocks. Don't do it. Rosemary is for protection and other things, which I can't remember right now. You can't use it for anything. You don't have to be super experienced to work with deities. Just be respectful. You can begin by worshipping. Wake up, like maybe set up a candle for them. Wake up in the morning, say good morning to them. Maybe give them a little offering. But before you do anything, protection. Make sure you're protected. Protect your space. Protect you. Make sure you know how to banish, cleanse and protect before you do anything. Preferably know how to reverse things too. Reversal is a thing that I took a while to understand how to do, but it's important. You know how to reverse things before you start doing spells. Yeah, that's my quick fire tips. I don't know, they just came to my mind. I thought I'd share them. Essentially, this is like the 3rd video I'm filming, and I have at least 2 others that I'm currently just have footage for and haven't even edited yet. I'm really behind on my YouTube, but I was like, I'm gonna do the fun bit. I'm gonna film one, and whoa, I need a new screen protector. It's so blurry. Anyway, yeah, so that is the plan. Now, books. First one I ever got. I was out in the woods with my friend and she was like, I'm learning about astrology, da, da, da. And she had this little book. It's a little book of zodiac signs and it's very cute. It has information on every single zodiac sign. But so there's what is astrology. It's like an introduction to astrology. There's a chapter about your sun signs, and then it talks to you about your rising signs, and then it talks to you about your moon sign. It really breaks it down, and then it talks about the separate planets and their meanings, and then it gives you a birth chart example and gives you a basic way to interpret it. Basically, it covers briefly the base level. Now, I'm not really an astrology girly. Like, I don't know that much, but this is quite handy for like little things. If anyone knows any better ones, put them in the comments, that'd be lovely, because this is all the astrology knowledge I have. I don't know much about astrology, but this was a really good place to start for me, like in my practice. Now on to the actual books. My favourite book I have, this is my favourite one. It's Plant Witchery by Juliet Diaz. All of her books are lovely. I haven't read The Altar Within, it's another book she has, but my friend is reading it right now, and she says that every single person in the world needs to read it who practices witchcraft. It's like, especially, it's a lot on like caring for yourself and the decolonization of witchcraft, which is so important, because closed practices are important to be recognised and they need to stay closed. Don't take from closed practices, very bad. Just stay in your lane, it's just not that hard. Anyway, Plant Witchery. This is a little book, it's quite a big book. It has 200, it has 200 different plants, and it has, so for an example of a page, let me find a nice one. So for example, this page, daffodil, oh, and there go, some tarot cards. And they have little designs, and then it says, it has in it the essential properties of it, the medicinal properties of it, the magical properties, and then like a little bit of wisdom that the plant, its energy has given Juliet Diaz, or can give you. It's like her interpretations of the plants, and she talks a lot about her own journey with spirituality and nature, and it's just a really good book. It's also wonderful to have on hand when you're like, oh my goodness, I have this herb and I can't remember the correspondences of it, and you can be like, oh my gosh, yeah, oak, protection and banishing, you know, like, it's a nice little dictionary to have on hand. Another very good one, Psychic Witch by Matt Oren. Have I finished reading this book? No, I have not. So it's a little bit of a struggle for ADHDers. That's why I struggle with some of the like meditations and stuff are so like intense, and then I get stuck on them. I feel like I need to get them perfect before I can move on, even though realistically that's not the case. But it's a really great way to start, because it's exercises, and you go through the book and you do exercises, and it follows you along, and it teaches you how to set intention, and it teaches you how to connect psychically, and it teaches you how to meditate properly, and it teaches you all the basic things you need for witchcraft, which then gives you an amazing foundation to go off of. It's like a witch's bread and butter. It's really good. The second one in that series is called Mastering Magic. I got this recently for my birthday from my friend Jess Chandler, or the Neurodivergent Witch, which is very cool. And this is like the after book from this. So once you've mastered setting intention and meditating, he then has a book which is specifically on different types of magic and spells and things that you can then put the skills you now have to like work. And yeah, it's very exciting. Also, come on, they look gorgeous. Look at this. Are they not like next to each other? They're so beautiful. So they're both by Matt Oren. Finally, Spells for Change. This is by Frankie, or the Chaotic Witch Aunt. They are a practitioner, Italian folk magic, I think, mostly. I'm doing my second read through of this book at the moment. It's so helpful. It's beautiful to start with. Like, look at how gorgeous the cover is, and it's so well laid out, and it covers all the basics of like protection and binding and banishing and cleansing, and there are a few example spells in here, and it teaches you how to cast a circle, teaches you about different divination tools. It's just a really amazing resource, and it talks about decolonizing witchcraft, which is so important, and it teaches. It's just, as a beginner, when I got my hands on this, it was so helpful. It's really beautiful. Would really recommend this. They slayed with this one. Slayed. Onto the decks I own. So quite a big part of my practice is divination, and I work with a few entities, so some of my decks are for that. So I'm just going to give you a little talk because I love my decks. I have arguably too many, but it's okay, it's okay. So the first one I ever bought was this one. It's called the Light Seers Tarot, and it's gorgeous. This one is The energy of this one is very much like, mum. She's like, takes no shit, tells me, she's like, no, I will tell you what you need to know. She tells you as it is. It's caring and nurturing, but it's like, takes no shit. So some examples of cards is this is the Fool, and the Four of Swords, and this is the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh. So yeah, no, it's, the artwork on this is gorgeous. I bought it as my first deck because I was really drawn to it. And being really drawn to the tarot deck you choose is important because you've got to like connect with it. I kind of wish as my first one I'd got one more traditionally, as maybe like the Rider-Waite that has the traditional imagery, but also I really get on with this deck, and I did find it difficult to like comprehend at first, but it's also really gorgeous, so I don't regret it. And the next deck I got was, it's a little bit bashed, but it was my Moonology deck. When I used to do like regular moon rituals, I don't do them anymore. I don't know why. I just kind of fell off the routine of it. But it's like a little deck and it covers different phases of the moon. So full moon in Taurus and Capricorn, new moon. I like this one to pull like an extra card to maybe just add some clarity to like a reading with a tarot deck. It works quite well for that. But no, this is my moon deck. I have my Animal Spirit Oracle. This is the next one I bought, I think. This one's cute. It has like 5 suits, sorry. It has each of the elements, and it has like a spirit element, which is like unicorns and phoenixes and stuff like that. It's really pretty, but like, this is an example of a card. It's just the lion, and a spirit card, yes, a unicorn. It's a super pretty deck. I, for some reason, managed to buy it without the guidebook, so then I ended up printing and binding my own guidebook, but I never quite finished it, and it's kind of a mess. So yeah, I'd recommend actually buying the guidebook if you get this deck, but it's so pretty. It's not one that I've connected to as well as some of my other decks, but I do like it. It's pretty. I think I bought this one next. This is my Disney Villains Tarot. This is the deck I work with Lord Loki with, so this is his deck. Some examples of the cards. This is the Lovers, but it says True Love just because it's like a different name, and then like 5 of Cups and Temperance and the High Priestess. But yeah, no, this deck's gorgeous. They did miss a trick because there's no Rasputin in this from Anastasia, and he's an iconic villain. Like, is the film a little bit boring? Yeah, in my humble opinion. However, Rasputin is such a good villain, and they really missed out not putting him in this deck. But other than that, it's lovely. It's a bit difficult. I wouldn't recommend for beginners in the sense that the imagery isn't very telling on some of the cards. To be fair, I don't know the meanings of the cards, so I had to look up quite a lot. And it's pretty. I have Curious Creatures, same artist. This one's really funny. It's a very chaotic deck. The cards are super, like, this is 5 of Swords. They're like people shaped with like animal heads. They're very cute. This is the Hermit. I really like this deck. I find this one, as a neurodivergent person, I find it very easy to intuitively comprehend what the cards are trying to say. I don't know if it's because they're animals or whether the expressions and the imagery on it is just like super good, but I find this deck quite easy to comprehend and understand. Then I have my Deviant Moon Tarot. I work with an entity with this deck, and it's kind of a creepy one. I like it a lot. It's quite dark, it's quite creepy. I find it really intriguing. I kind of like dark, kind of creepy art. I don't know, I like it a lot. Quite a lot of the messages on the in the guidebook are quite macabre as well. Like, I really like this deck. It's really kind of creepy, and but it's very expressive, so I find it nice to work with. I have another oracle deck. It's the Deadly Apothecary Oracle. It's made of poisonous plants, and it's largely a healing deck Wait, hang on, look at the backs. And it's gilded edges, they're all red. They're just so gorgeous. It's largely a healing deck, so it draws on negative behaviours or like thought patterns. It's really good for healing. It calls you out on your destructive behaviour, basically. But I really like it. It's very pretty. And then my most recent deck is this one. It's a Norse divination deck. It was my first ever secondhand deck, actually. So I to like cleanse it and rebond with it, I reorganized all the cards into order of like number 1 through to the end, and then let it sit on selenite. And honestly, I quite enjoyed the process of reconnecting with it, and the fact that it has history before kind of makes it more, it feels more like, I don't know, like it's got a rich history, and I quite like that. The back of the cards are like this, and then the front of the cards are, they're all like black and white, and they have all different sorts of figures from Norse mythology. So they have like the main, like the most famous gods. They have like Odin, and they have Freya, and they have Loki and everyone, and then they have Grimnir. It's just a very pretty deck, and I have bonded to it really well. Like, honestly, out of all my decks, I feel the most bonded to this one. They have, oh, Queen Hell. Yeah, that is my deck tour. I hope you enjoyed. That's kind of my basic witchcraft supplies. I have herbs and I use crystals, and but yeah, so that was my tarot tour and my beginner's book recommendations. I don't know why I thought I'd put them both in the same video, but it made sense at the time. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about my practice, do let me know. Yeah, that was my tour, and have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye.